sure you feel the vibes.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Coach Plays. It's your boy, the Coach Plays, alongside with Coach Flat here, and we are bringing you the Week 5 show. And let's start it off with the power rankings through 4 weeks. All right. So at number 10, the Bears at 3-1. Yours truly, and I feel like I got a little bit hosed on that one. What do you think?
Had you a little bit higher in mind, but I know how you play, so I might have been biased.
Well, you know what? It's only Week 5. I think I can work my way up, so we'll see if that ranking is, valid or not.
You gotta earn it.
Coming in at number 9, we have the Rams at 3-1. I think it's a little high. What do you think?
Maybe a little high. A lot of controversy on the Rams in the league. A lot of trades they made.
I'm going to go ahead and say this: that the one above him and number 9 and number 8 don't really get along with each other.
The Chargers and Rams don't get along. I wish they were in the same division so we could see that matchup.
So, like say, number 8 is the Chargers, and they are also at 3-1. What do you think of the Chargers so far?
Chargers look good. I think their only loss was, to the Colts. But, I mean, based off their schedule, I think they look pretty good.
All right, coming in at number 7, we have the Seattle Seahawks, and they are also 3-1. I really don't know much about the Seahawks. Do you?
Seahawks, I know that they are undefeated in games they've actually played. They had a game against the Saints where neither of them could match up and get a game played. So that game was a fair sim, no force. But the Saints ended up winning, putting the Seahawks at 3-1. But the Seahawks, we'll get to this a little later on, but it's going to be a pretty unfortunate situation because they're going to be 3-0 in games they've played, but out of town till Monday. Could make that team 3-4 with 4 losses that they didn't control, and so just got to get the games in, but out of town can't control that. So
what you're saying is it pays to be available.
Pays to be available.
Yep.
All right, we preach that a little bit.
Number 6 is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 3-1. Also another one that I don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, and he beat the Patriots, which we know. Chase is a good user.
Okay.
So that was a good win for him. We know he's a pretty good player. So that win has stuck with me throughout the Steelers season in an impressive fashion.
All right, so now talking about the top 5 in the power rankings, coming in at number 5, a little bit of controversy here. The New England Patriots at 3-1. What do you think?
Good player. We just talked about it. I had him, I think, 6 behind behind the Steelers, just because that he had lost to them. But he's a good player. I think that 5 is a fair ranking for him.
I think he's got a pretty important game that we'll get to here in just a minute. Coming in at number 4 is the Indianapolis Colts at 3-1, and their only loss is a forced loss, correct?
Colts, yeah, the Falcons actually. He played the Falcons and wasn't able to play the game. Might have been a pretty good game there.
Yeah, I really would have loved to watch that game.
With the Falcons. I would have liked to watch it too because I was playing the Falcons the following week and Colts being in my division. But, yeah, I mean, he's a good player. I played him in week 3, I think, and lost 31-23. But he's a good player. Look forward to playing him again.
Then we got at number 3, this is where we're talking about, it could apples and oranges. Number 3, we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons at 4-0. And let's just go through the top 3. Falcons at 4-0, then we got the Redskins at 4-0, and then we got the Panthers at 4-0. Do we think we got it right? Do we think we got it wrong? I guess we really don't know until a few more games get played, right?
Yeah. I think, the Chargers, when he did his, looked at strength of schedule a lot. I looked at that a little bit. I also looked at margin of victory, but just because I wasn't familiar with all the users, so it's hard for me to gauge strength of schedule when I didn't know how everybody was. Now you can get a little bit clearer picture on that. But, the Falcons and Redskins margin of victory was impressive to me. They haven't had any close games at all.
I believe the Redskins did have a close game, right?
They kind of close against the Bears, yeah.
I think the Bears was up in the fourth quarter, so.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Redskins have had a closer game than the Falcons. I think the Falcons' closest game is like 24 points or something like that. So, I think that those have been the 3 most impressive teams, and like you said, apples to oranges. You can kind of rank those teams however you want. They're all 4-0. Nobody else is. So they're the top three.
Is it anything to say that the top three are all on the NFC side?
Lucky me. AFC. Baby.
Unlucky me. All right, so moving on, we've got running back news. Running back for the Los Angeles Rams, Hines, is now a breakout player. He was a star trait, and now he's a superstar trait after getting a 200-yard rushing game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's actually already over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, for anybody in the league that doesn't know, breakout player can be a very key thing for your team. Keep an eye on that. He got breakout player with Nyheim Hines. It can happen, randomly, but if you play well with a guy, you got a good chance of getting a breakout player. I actually got it this week for Harold Landry, defensive end that's looking to go to a superstar trade. So that's going to be huge for me, and that's huge for him. So look out for that, and make sure if you see that pop up, instead of a lot of times you'll see like a coach game plan, X factor quarterback or something like that. You're playing a good player. If you see breakout player instead of that, make sure you really pay attention to that and see the goals that it wants you to lay out for that week, because that's a chance to get somebody from a normal trade to a star trade, or a star trade to a superstar, something like that. It's pretty important stuff there. But good for him.
All right, so now it's time to talk about game of the week. We're already halfway through week 5. We will advance tonight, but game of the week, and I'm hoping that I can post this on the YouTube channel to let everybody rewatch it if they want to. But game of the week, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, Redskins and the Patriots. So
number 2 seed in the power rankings versus number 5.
It's going to be pretty good. We're looking forward to this, and I like the Redskins in this game. I think
the line is at 12.5. So now the question is, do you like the Redskins minus 12.5? I'm just going to go out and say I'm going to take Patriots plus 12.5 on this one.
Yeah, put me on the spot a little bit there. I mean, I set the line, so I think that's about what it'll be, 12 points.
If you have to go one way or the other, who do you go? I believe the Patriots owner wants to know.
I think I'll take the Redskins minus 12.5.
All right.
I like the Redskins minus 12.5. I think it'll be a close game, maybe closer than that. But maybe the Redskins score late and push the spread over.
If there's one thing in this game that you're looking for,
turnovers. If the Patriots take care of the ball, they can win this game. But the Redskins are one of those users that force a lot of turnovers. He can force 3-4 turnovers back to back to back. So got to take care of the ball, run the ball, control the clock. I think the Patriots have a shot, but that's the key against Redskins.
Anything else that we need to talk about?
Yeah, let's briefly talk about just week 5 so far, if we can. We've had some interesting games that have popped up thus far in week 5. One that I touched on a little bit earlier was the Ravens and Steelers game, big AFC North matchup there. And the Ravens started the year 0-2. Whenever I was doing the power rankings, I was not too impressed with their schedule, but man, I think that's 4 straight wins for them now. Just beat the Steelers, who I think were leading that division. So that puts them at 4-2, right there with the Steelers. Probably puts the Ravens ahead in the division right now. So that was a huge win.
Going to be a very competitive division, I believe.
Yeah, those two are going to battle that out. The Bengals are in there too, and the Browns. So Browns and Bengals got a little bit of room to make up, but the Steelers and Ravens, that second matchup is going to be huge. But that was a big win for the Ravens. Saw the Falcons and Texans play last night. I watched the entire game of that one.
Okay, let's talk. Like the Texans was 2-0.
Yeah.
And now they're just falling off the map.
2-3.
2-3.
I think
3-game losing streak, right?
2-3 maybe.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. They're in my division. But no, I watched the whole game with the Falcons and Texans. It was a 21-21 game. I thought that both users were doing some good things, but the Texans, I think, had 4 turnovers in the third quarter, and the third quarter got real ugly real fast. I think it was 35 unanswered in the third quarter to make it 56-21.
Turnovers.
Leo Jones.
And I think DeAndre Hopkins rumors are now starting to stir up the pot a little bit.
DeAndre Hopkins, Houston says he's on the block. So if you're looking for an elite wide receiver, I've seen plenty of people post in the trade block that they're looking for an elite wide receiver. Well,
you got to pay for it.
Best receiver on the game's on the market. So go talk to Houston on that. Cardinals beat the Bengals 31-25 this week. I thought that was a pretty good bounce back win for the Cardinals. They got shut out by the Seahawks last week. But talk about competitive divisions. That NFC West, I think, is the best division in the league. The Cardinals, good user there. The Rams, as we talked about, pretty good there in the power rankings. 49ers, only one loss there in the power rankings, and then the Seahawks just one loss, and they're in the power rankings top 10.
I don't know though. You got the NFC South with the Panthers and the Falcons, both in the top 3 there.
Panthers
Buccaneers
and the Falcons
might be struggling. Who's the other one?
Panthers, the Saints.
Saints. Yeah.
Panthers and the Falcons at the top of the NFC South is very tough. I think top to bottom. When you look at the Saints and the Buccaneers, I don't know that they match up top to bottom. Saints and Buccaneers towards the bottom end of the power rankings, but never know. It could change. So.
All right, guys. As a reminder, if you want to see some of your highlights in the weekly shows, you've got to stream your games, and you've got to make it to where your past streams are available to watch. That's the only way that I can then screen record them and put them on here. But that's about it for today, right?
That's all we got.
Let's tune in tonight, watch the game of the week between the Patriots and the Redskins, and let's get this show on the road for Week 6. Coach Flat.
Peace!
Feel the vibes.